Gentlemen, welcome to part 8 of an 11-part series on the fastest checkmates in chess history. If you haven't watched the first 7 parts yet, go and watch them first, and then come back to this one. I'll wait. Let's look at Game 70, Jacques Mieses, blindfolded versus Anonymous. Delft, the Netherlands, 1933. So we have a King's Knights opening, and then Black plays f6. That's a terrible, terrible thing to play. It's called the Damiano Defence, named after Pedro Damiano, who, by the way, didn't play this move. Rather, he's the one who played against this move and showed why it's a bad move. White takes the pawn with impunity. Knight kills e5 because... Here's the thing, if Black recaptures that knight with his pawn, then the queen's going to come in on h5 and cause all sorts of trouble, maybe win a rook. But Black actually doesn't do that this time. He plays bishop d6, which is also bad, by the way. In fact, it's worse than taking the knight, as it turns out. White plays queen h5 check, which is to be expected. You're going to just come in there with the queen and steamroll everything. And I guess you should play g6 at this point, but this poor anonymous player who thinks he has the upper hand because he can see the board and his opponent can't, plays king e7 and loses instantly. White plays queen f7 mate. The next game is Game 71, Jones versus Gilson, Dayton, USA, 1968. This is going to be a little bit more normal. Black plays on his second move, knight c6, which is called the Italian game. White plays bishop c4, and then we have d6. Which is called the semi-Italian variation. And then we have d3, bishop g4, knight c3, knight d4, knight kills e5, and that's a mistake, because Black is winning now. Except he doesn't. He could win if he plays d kills e5, but he's going to do that same thing that St. Brie did. He's going to do bishop kills d1. Of course, he's killing the queen, because who's not going to take a great big juicer like that? White goes bishop kills f7 check, and he has a mate in 2. King e7 is forced, and then knight d5 is mate, so it's just another Legal's mate. Actually, Gilson resigned this game on the last move instead of playing king e7, which was forced, because he knows what's coming. He's seen Legal's mate before. He just, I guess, blanked out before it and forgot about it, and now he pays the price, and hopefully he won't make that same mistake next time. Now let's look at Game 72, which is actually a game that was duplicated in the database. We've got 2 instances of it. We've got Nibal al-Jindi from Syria versus Adila Abdul-Wadud Raweh of Yemen, 34th Women's Chess Olympics, round 10 of 14, Istanbul, Turkey, October 8th, 2000. And also Renee Gralla versus Ulrich W. Schmidt, Hamburg, Germany, August 5, 2004. And it starts off similar. It transposes to the position that we saw earlier in Hartlov versus Rosenbaum. Here we go. It's Black's third move is f6. There we go, which is actually a losing move. Now white can win. White plays knight h4, which is not the winning move. So at this point, I guess Mr. Raweh is thinking, I saw Jimmy Vermeer's YouTube video where he showed me the Hartlaub versus Rosenbaum game, because she's a time traveler. Rosenbaum played g5 and lost. As you see here, we saw that already. So I'm going to play bishop c5, which is actually also a very terrible move. It's not looking good for black here. White goes queen h5 check, and then king f8 is the actual worst move that black can make here, because now white can win with queen f7 mate. In this event, Syria came in 77th out of 86 teams, and Yemen came in 85th. In all three games this round, the Syrian player defeated the Yemeni player. So now we look at game 73, where we have 8-year-old Luka Panchulidze versus 8-year-old Lubana Holestiakova. World Cadets Girls Under 12, Round 8, Batumi, Georgia, October 27, 2016. So it's going to be another Italian game. It's going to be like this, and then black's third move is knight d4. Knight d4, which is called the Kostic Gambit. It's also known as the Blackburn-Schilling Gambit, by the way. It was called that because Joseph Henry Blackburn would play this opening against amateurs and bet them a shilling that he could still win, even though it might not be the best opening. And then it got somehow renamed to the Schilling-Kostic Gambit, because maybe whoever called it that wasn't aware of the origin of the original name. I don't know why they took Blackburn's name out of it. Now it's just called the Kostic Gambit, because it was played and won by a person named Kostic, which you will, I believe, yes, the next game after this you will see that. White's fourth move is knight kills d4. Okay, let's do that. And then we have e kills d4. And then queen f3. And then bishop b4. That's a mistake. And then white wins with queen kills f7 mate. So yeah, the king can't take the queen there because it's guarded by the bishop. This tournament, which had 722 players, was won by 12-year-old Bibisara Subayeva of Kazakhstan. Now let's look at game 74, which is another duplicated game. It came twice in the database, once as McBride versus Hill, England 1892, and also as Mulak versus Borislav Kostic, who gives his name, of course, to the Kostic Gambit, Cologne, Germany, 1911. So it starts with the same few moves, the difference being, let's see. Okay, yeah, big difference here. Now white plays knight kills e5, and it's really white's move on this turn that determines who's going to win this game. So the last game, white played knight kills d4, and and white actually won, but now it's knight kills e5, and now white is going to lose. Not necessarily because of this move, but because of a series of unfortunate events that follows this move. So black goes queen g5, So yeah, you can call it the Shilling Kostic Gambit, or you can just call it the Blackburn Shilling Gambit, either way. What do we have here? Knight kills f7. Yeah. Okay, things are going really, really badly for white here. So we have queen kills g2. Then we have rook f1. And then we have queen kills e4 check. And now white goes bishop e2, which loses instantly, and then knight f3 is checkmate. Okay, so, and the bishop can't even kill the knight because then the queen gets the king. Again, I guess Mulak didn't see that. McBride didn't see it either. It's very hard to see because that queen was blocked by the bishop before. So now we look at game 75, which is Rishabh Itkelwar of India versus Shruti Gujjelwar of India. Commonwealth Championship, Round 6, Nagpur, India, October 2, 2008. So no more Kostic Gambit. Let's do something else this time. Let's do knight f6, which is called the Two Knights Defence. Okay, and then white goes knight g5, which is the knight attack. And then we have d5, the Gruber variation. And then we have e kills d5. Knight kills d5. This is called the Fagatello attack. Fagatello is an Italian word which means liver. So this opening is actually named after a part of your body. There are other openings named after body parts, which I'm sure you may be aware of. White's sixth move is queen f3. And then we have bishop e7, which is a mistake. White has mate in 5 now. Queen kills f7 check. Gujjelwar resigned the game at this point. Had the game continued, it would have likely gone, like this: king d7, which is forced, and then queen kills d5 check. King e8, queen f7 check, king d7, bishop e6 check, king d6, and then knight e4 mate. So yeah. This tournament was won by Nigel Short. The next game is game 76, Andre Accouche of Seychelles versus Shamel Howell of Barbados. 38th Chess Olympics, Round 3, Dresden, Germany, November 15, 2008. Okay, so this is actually going to be a Scotch game. If we go back here to it's Black's third move is e kills. Wait a minute. Am I doing this right? Oh no, White's third move is d4. Yeah, so that's the Scotch game. And Black goes e kills d4. White goes knight kills d4. And then we have bishop c5, which is the classical variation. And then bishop e3, which is the Golmeo variation. Queen f6, Knight kills c6. And bishop kills e3. Knight c3. Which is a mistake. There's a mate in 1. Queen kills f2 mate. So again, the king can't even kill the queen because it's guarded by the bishop here. So that's checkmate. Team Armenia won this event. Team Barbados came in 118th out of 147 teams. And Team Seychelles came in 144th. Team Barbados won 4 out of 4 games against Team Seychelles. The next opening I'm going to show you is the Wayward Queen attack, also known as the Patzer opening or the Parham attack. Because chess players don't always agree on what to call the openings, so an opening may be known by several different names. I'm going to show you 3 games where the Wayward Queen attack is played. White wins all 3 of them, but be warned, it's not a solid opening, and the only reason it worked in these 3 cases is because black got careless. So we have Game 77, Eric Schiller versus Howery Pack, Port Washington, USA, 1969. Eric Schiller was a kid when he played this opening. He's since become an international master and no longer plays this opening, having abandoned it in favor of the more stable Ruy Lopez. But soon you will see the method to his madness. Now I'd like to suggest that you pause the video at this point and see if you can work out the worst possible move black can make. The only move that allows white to checkmate on the next turn. Mr. Pack was probably thinking at this point, okay, Eric's coming after me with his queen here on this diagonal, but I'm not worried. I'm not worried about that. I've never played chess before, but I have played bridge, or euchre, if you will, and I know from that a king always beats a queen. So I'll just apply that same principle to chess. So he moves king e7. And at this point, Mr. Pack learns that chess is not like bridge or euchre, and when a king tries to single-handedly go after a queen, that king dies. And without a moment's hesitation, Eric Schiller played queen kills e5 mate. This game has been the subject of various rumors, including that Mr. Pack touched a piece that could not be moved legally and was thus forced to move his king as per the touch move rule, or that Mr. Schiller asked Mr. Pack if his king had a magnet under it, because they were playing with a magnetic chess set, and when he lifted it up to check, Mr. Schiller invoked the touch move rule. Both stories are false. In fact, Mr. Pack merely did not have a good understanding of the game and thought this was a good move. I should also point out that both players were in junior high school at the time, and as such it is common to see young players make terrible mistakes. Even Hikaru Nakamura and Mikhail Tal lost games in a very small number of moves when they were children. The best players learn from their mistakes and grow up to become grandmasters. So let's look at game 78. Gioacchino Greco versus Anonymous, 1620. It's the Wayward Queen attack again, and this time black plays knight c6. And then we have bishop c4. Knight f6. Uh-oh. There's another mistake. There's a lot of ways for black to lose here. Knight f6 is tempting because it attacks the queen. This is called the scholar's mate because he's employing all of the principles that he learned except for the most important principle, which is to not get checkmated, which happens when white plays queen kills f7 mate. Again, black can't take the queen because the bishop guards it. And now we will look at game 79. Jesus Amano versus Arturo Loeffler, Mar del Plata, Argentina, 1972. So it starts off the same way, except instead of the obvious mistake of knight f6, Loeffler plays g6, and then we have queen f3, and here comes the mistake. Loeffler plays knight d4, whoops, okay, and then white wins with queen kills f7 mate, so similar mate to what we just saw in the Greco game. And this concludes part 8 of my 11-part series of videos on the fastest checkmates in chess history. Part 9 is next, of course, and as usual, the link is in the description.